And as we come and sit, come then and fold. Walk your feet a little bit wider at this point. Keep a light bend of your knees. And if you will hold the elbows, let the head hang, let the arms hang, and begin to let your body sway. You can bend in one knee as you get to that side and bend the other knee as you get to the other side. And I'm using this to just make sure that we were not overdoing, but taking advantage of that space. From here, walk your hands out. Begin to walk out. And as you do, coming into this plank, lean in. Let your toes pull you back. And again, lean in. And draw back. One more time, please. These places of symmetry, they add something different. If nothing more, it is a neutralizing effect. As you come back into your downward facing dog, as you walk your toes that little bit closer in, bend in your knees. We just had this shape from standing. And begin to rotate so that you have knees together to one side, lower body turned while the upper body stayed stable. And then in the other direction. And if you will now, choose one of those directions to slowly come to the floor. I'm going to place my head in my arm and work from the side. The ball goes between the feet. But if you find that it is better for you to put your head on a block and to keep the bottom arm ahead of you, please do that. Right? So the blanket is underneath the hips, so keeps the floor from being so hard against the hip joint. And we're going to take the legs long. We'll lift. Great. And as we lift, as the kickstand hand is in use, consider holding the edge of the mat and pressing forward, using that to help you steady stacking of the pelvis and lifting the mouse whole. I'm going to take the top leg and roll it forward while the bottom leg is still, and then I'm going to come back. So the work comes to be, I want to bear in any amount, this light constant, but what happens is that when we move the front leg, the top leg forward, the bottom foot wants to roll back, and I'm asking you to keep it there today, to just keep it steady and make the movement about the top leg. Top leg. Very good. One more. Excellent. Keep hold of this pattern, feet bearing into the ball. And now keep the top leg steady and move the bottom leg forward. Bottom leg. Bottom leg off the floor, both legs off the floor. Top leg is constant, trying not to react, but to hold its place. Nice. And relax. Bend your knees, bring them in, roll onto your back. If you'll hold the ball between the knees now, we're going to come into a bridge pose. Feet are underneath the knees. And we're going to begin to practice a preparation that is meant to build stability in the SI joint. So come into your bridge. Feel all four corners of the feet on the mat. Notice how your legs are reacting to the ball, this very light hold, just enough to hold on to the ball. Invite the lengthening of the neck, tuck the shoulders underneath you, hold this position. While you're bearing into the ball, while you're feeling all four corners of your feet on the mat, allow the outer edges of the feet to have more of the weight. Just notice that. And then add a little bit more work of the knees pressing in. This is not meant to be a huge, intense action. The shift in what happens across the midsection of the body, those core muscles, are involving a strength pattern that is stabilizing for the SI joint. And then very slowly release the shoulders and come on down. So we want to sneak those patterns in here and there. Let's roll to the other side and make it so that our ball is between the feet. Okay, so here we are, other side. So I'm lifting the legs, using the kickstand hand, lifting the mouse hole, staying stacked in the hips, and then allowing the legs to bear into the ball. Just the top leg moves, it moves forward, and then it comes back to center. Wonderful ways that we can build with this exercise. And so if you know it and you're ready for more, while you transition to mind on the body, my top leg is still, and now the bottom leg moves forward, and I'm trying to really keep the top leg still, then you can consider letting go the kickstand hand and just thinking about where you are working from and what is steady. And nice. As you are ready to roll onto your back, as you bring your knees in to help you with that adjustment, we're going to bring the ball back again to between the knees and placing the feet at the floor. So at first, we'll keep this very simple. Arms are wide, and we'll bring the knees toward the chest, flex the feet. Our rotation, the strengthening twist, as we rock the knees to one side, keep the shoulder blades on the floor, perhaps turn the head in the opposite direction, is also a recovery. Come back to center. And then take the knees in the other direction, turn your head opposite the knees. It's a nice option, aiming the knee that can come to the elbow, back to center. This time, if you will, plant your feet, lift the pelvis, shift your pelvis to the right. Bring your knees into your chest. If you're losing the ball, make your adjustments. And then as you begin to rock the legs to the left, play with what can happen. Can you straighten the bottom leg? Wow. And bring it in. Can you straighten the top leg? And bring it in. Rotate back to center. Plant your feet. Same idea, please. We're going to shift the pelvis. We're going to go back past neutral and shift the pelvis to the left. Bring the knees to the chest. Rock them over to the right. And play with that again. I want to extend the bottom leg. Shoulder blades on the floor. And then alternate to extend the top leg. And pull it in. Inhale, come back to center. Plant your feet. Come to center. Place the ball, please, between your feet. And if you can manage, then that same idea. I want to shift the pelvis to the right. Bring the knees in close. The ball is between the feet. And as I rock over to one side, I'm not going as far because when we straighten the legs, the load is greater on those side body muscles. So come into it in a kind way and then challenge yourself. Hold that position. Take the top leg, the one that came across, and roll it towards your nose. And then back to center. Knees to your chest. Roll back to center. Plant your feet. Shift past neutral, pelvis to the left, knees to the chest. Readjust the ball if you need. And begin to extend the legs and to rock them over to the right. Maybe not nearly as far as you might think, just to give yourself the chance to feel shoulder blades on the floor, the amount of rotation that makes it right for you. And then holding the bottom leg steady, anchoring with the arm, roll the top leg. So you're aiming those toes back towards your nose. We got to hold on to the ball, right? Very good. And knees to you, come back to center. Excellent work, everyone. As you put the ball down, let's try this very sneaky exercise. I want to turn my feet out and move the ball slightly ahead so my knees are not bent so deeply, but I still have a bend of the knee. And I can place my feet, soles of the feet together, knees turned out, arms wherever you wish them to be. Bring your focus to your hip points. Notice the symmetry and the stability. And then notice if you can rock the legs right to left without rocking the pelvis. And what you're releasing. And what you're asking for, where are you working from? Now, bring your knees up maybe a couple of inches. It'll be more of your heels on the ball, soles of the feet together. And do the same thing. Rock the legs side to side. If you want to put your fingers at your hip points like I am, just to feel, okay, I can feel the engagement of those muscle fibers underneath my fingertips, but I'm not rocking the pelvis. Hopefully not. The legs get to move. Then when you're ready, bring the knees in and roll the legs, straighten the legs ahead. Place one foot at the floor and take the other leg out to the side with the ball underneath. We're not going to the floor. We're just going to rotate a little bit. I want to rock the leg toward the midline, turn it out, external rotation, bear down, engage the glutes. Notice turning on the glutes, both sides. I want to stay with this push into the ball, legs are long, and I'm going to take the leg that's at the ball out to the side a little bit. So by the time it goes a few inches, I get to this rotational pattern that is internal rotation of the leg, and I'm not making it extreme. I'm just helping to strengthen internal rotation at a small angle. Foot flexed, foot flexed. Thank you very much. Come back to center and think about how, if you come to center, how you can take the leg that was just moving and just kind of place it down and it's off the midline to the side. But you really want to take the other leg and just gently roll the ball in the leg and catch it as you guide it slightly out to the side as well, right? It moved to the side laterally. And start again. I want to roll the ball toward the midline, turn the leg as a unit, external rotation, bear down. Pelvis stayed even. And then I want to take the ball and the leg laterally, and I get to this place where it's not extreme, but I have a little bit of internal rotation and I still want to bear down. From this position, simply release the ball, let it go. Decide if you want any support underneath you in Shavasana and take on your beautiful recovery pose as you wish. Bring your focus to your inner landscape. Notice the sensations, the residue of your practice, the aliveness. You are always welcome to stay as long as you wish. Coming back to focusing on your landscape in your restorative pose at the end of your practice, taking the time to feel the energy of your body. Since we connect first to the physical layer of the body, that's how we know ourselves mostly. And it guides how we take care of ourselves, the sensations we feel. But as we deepen our mind-body practices, whatever they may be, that second layer, the energy layer, how does moving your body tap into different energy centers? What do you release? What feels open? Where do you feel alive? It helps us recognize the importance to want to feel, because those deeper layers, the emotional layer, the wisdom layer, the spiritual deeper layer, they come and they are interrelated, and they are the gift of a mind-body practice. Bring your knees to your chest and roll to one side. Press up and sit when you're ready. Bring your hands to your heart. Namaste.